A massive shock to the system coming, and the feds don't even know what to do at this point. That's what we're going to break down in today's video in detail. Jerome Powell addressed monetary policy, and I'm going to break it down from my perspective. If I haven't met you, my name is Coach JV. Welcome to my channel. What I work to do is to make macro, microeconomic concepts very simple so the normal everyday person can rewire the foundation to end up in a different situation. We are in one of the most crazy times economically that we've ever experienced. And we teach people how to rewire the foundation so we can end up in a completely different situation. There's going to be a massive separation between the wealthy and the poor. The wealth gap since 1913, specifically 1971, since we detached from the gold standard, has increases dramatically. First of all, I want to say thank you for your patience as I just got back from my spiritual journey from Peru. And all I'm going to tell you is God is good all the time. And my recommendation is to build a relationship with God, a relationship. I'm not talking about religion because we need the foundation right now. It is going to be the wildest times you've ever been through. I have two resources. We've helped thousands of people worldwide. I insure my money, guys. I'm not telling you anything I'm not doing myself. I don't trust this system. I'm just letting you know. So I do what the wealthy do. And tax code 7702 in 1913, ironically, was created when the Federal Reserve was created. I insure my wealth. Tier 1 capital. We can help you do the same thing. So in the description of this video down below, it's an absolutely free conversation with my wealth protection team to show you how I personally insure my wealth and how we've helped hundreds of people and soon thousands all over the world insure their wealth with Tier 1 capital. Number two, if you're not ready to dive in or have that conversation, there's a free resource for you, my 16-page guide on exactly how I built my ecosystem. Today, I'm meeting with my trust lawyer to get all that ecosystem set up. When I learn that, I'm going to teach you. My goal is to help you secure, compound, grow your wealth, and understand that you're already free, guys. There is nothing to fear. We win in the end. Let me repeat that. The God that I know and the Bible that I read and the Jesus that I follow, we win in the end. You have to get out of the fear state of mind. There's problem, reaction, solution. Whoever creates a problem creates a reaction in you, which is fear, and that same person comes up with a solution. This is truly the greatest time in human history to shift your family's timeline. But you can watch every single video. You can educate yourself all day. Motivation is fleeting. Discipline and consistency done for a long enough period of time will switch your whole paradigm. All right, so let's dive right into it. I'm excited to be back with you guys. I did get some feedback about the videos. They didn't do too well, so it's more of an educational sense. So what I'll do is a couple of those per week, and I'll continue to bring you guys. You seem to like the macro, microeconomic, but I will bring education videos like that, a couple throughout the week, just to share with you guys exactly what I'm doing. You know, if you want to dive into our academy, you can, but there's thousands of free hours of information that I can help you with. And all I'm telling you guys is exactly what I'm doing myself. I'm never going to share anything that I'm not actually living and breathing. Okay. So this is what I need you to pay attention to. Americans are losing faith that inflation will return to normal. The Fed is absolutely terrified. Jerome Powell, I just want you to watch these videos and I want you to pay attention. He is starting to become terrified, guys. We've seen his confidence. What I do is I study voice inflection. I study their reactions. I study how their narrative changes. But honestly, right now, we're going to watch about a 10-minute video. Then we're going to watch another presentation. We're going to watch three videos. The first one is Jerome Powell talking about economic policy. The second one is a gentleman talking about shocks to the system. And then I'm going to bring you back to video number 3, where Rosie Rios said you need a shock to the system to change consumer behaviors. And what we're going to finish up with today is showing that BlackRock, guys, they lied to us. They're in the game, and you're in that game as well. And you're about to have life-changing price appreciation. But you have to understand how the game works. Here we go.
Okay, where was I? Inflation was coming down. The labor market remains tight, although improvements in labor supply and a gradual easing in demand continue to move it into better balance. GDP growth in the third quarter was quite strong, but like most forecasters, we do expect growth to moderate in coming quarters.
Okay, so that's important. GDP growth was strong, right, guys? There's still stimulus in the system. Okay, stimulus is starting to dry up, and he just said, hey, GDP growth is going to start to wean in the future.
Of course, that remains to be seen, and we are attentive to the risk that stronger growth could undermine further progress in restoring balance to the labor market and in bringing inflation down, which could warrant a response from monetary policy.
Okay, so they're having trouble. This is where he's at right now. They're scared. They're like, we can't seem to get this inflation down. We raised interest rates. We jacked up the system. It messed up the bond market. So now they're sitting on inflation or interest rates. Like, should we raise it anymore? Because if they do, okay, that's going to bring down inflation, destroying the job market. So they're in this weird conundrum. There's no money in the system, guys. There is no, that's why I protect my wealth.
The FOMC is committed to achieving a stance of monetary policy that is sufficiently restrictive to bring inflation down to 2% over time. We are not confident that we've achieved such a stance.
Okay, he just told you we're not confident. We have not achieved. We're going to do significant monetary policy to get it to 2%. That means that interest rates have to continue to go up, which is no bueno.
We know that ongoing progress toward our 2% goal is not assured. Inflation has given us a few head fakes along the way.
Listen to this lack of confidence he's telling you guys. We're not sure. We don't know. This is a very confident man. He was very confident in the past, guys. They don't know what's going on. They're terrified right now.
If it becomes appropriate to tighten policy further, we will not hesitate to do so. We will continue to move carefully, however, allowing us to address both the risk of being misled by a few good months of data and the risk of over-tightening. We're making decisions meeting by meeting based on the totality of the incoming data and their implications for the outlook for economic activity, inflation, as well as the balance of risks, as we determine the extent of additional policy firming that may be appropriate to return inflation to 2% over time. And we'll keep at it until the job is done. So with that, let me turn to the three questions that I've posed that have arisen from the receding but still elevated.
So imagine a world, guys, your economy, your retirement, your future. They're just going meeting by meeting trying to figure this shit out. They're literally telling you, we're going meeting by meeting trying to figure this out. This is uncharted territory, family. This is your retirement. This is your money. This is your future that you worked so hard to build.
Inflation we're experiencing today. The first question is, with the benefit of 2.5 years to look back, what we can say about the initial causes and ongoing policy implications of the current inflation. After running below our 2% target over the first year of the pandemic, core PCE inflation rose sharply in March 21. Economic forecasters generally did not see this coming, as shown by the February 21 survey of professional forecasters, which showed core PCE running at or below target over the subsequent 3 years.
Okay, he gets into really, I love the data, but it's really boring data. And it's like, it's just a bunch of data about PCE, about GDP, all that stuff. Okay, now this gentleman's going to talk, but I want you to listen to what he says about shocks to the system. And I'm going to take you back to a video from Rosie Rios that said we need a shock to the system to change consumer behaviors. I think we all know, we can all agree, if you're still watching this at 8 minutes, you're a true warrior. I love you. Is that we know what's going on, guys. Stop believing the media. By the time it gets to the media, understand who controls the media, who controls the news. By the time it gets to the media, it's what they want you to hear, to have you look over this way. Just do the opposite. You'll be just fine.
All right. First, it's a pleasure to be here in a conference in honor of Ken Rogoff. We all cherish and follow his distinguished contribution in academia and practice.
What I also want you to pay attention to is, so the video we're listening to now, they're going to tout just listen. We're going to walk through this. Just listen to the countries they're touting. So pay attention. That's how I look at things. Where they keep focusing on, what areas are doing really well. Think about that. What countries are doing well right now? What areas are doing well right now? And I'll give you a hint. It's innovation. XRP is being used as a currency out there, guys. They're telling you the blueprint of where we are heading. America, the industrial area, the old archaic banking system is dead, guys, dead.
Sort of in a sharp turn, as we're all aware, Israel is currently at a war following the October 7th inhuman, brutal attack by the terrorist organization of Hamas. This is a crucial time for Israel's security, and we thank all those who support us.
Remember, how do they move a population? Challenge your safety, challenge your security. When you don't feel safe, you don't feel secure, you will accept the solutions that are provided.
Hearts are with the innocent victims of the war, and our hope is for it to end with a safe return of hostages and with peace and security. And now I'm going to turn now.
And I agree with them with peace and security, but it's like, We all know why this is created, man. It's very sad. Breaks my heart. God is good.
I want to turn now to address the issues and questions presented for this session. An important question is, to what extent can a small open economy like Israel, or for that matter, any SOE, conduct its monetary policy independently, or should it rather follow the steps of the major economies? Another question is, what are the spillovers from the policy taken by the major?
Okay, what did he just say? Should they accept the other policies or the spillover? But listen to what listen, just pay attention to this, guys. It's so important.
Economies to small open economies, and how do those impact local conditions? The answer to these questions depends on the development of the economy, its specific areas of exposure to the global economy, and the particular shock it might need to react to. Generally, local monetary policy cannot be entirely disconnected from that in the major economies. Yet, local circumstances justify and require setting policy that is tailored in accordance with the economy's structure and needs. Key considerations will include interest differentials, foreign exchange, and the effect on domestic activity, in particular exports, and on inflation, and on financial markets. As we all know, our planet has become a small village. The COVID experience demonstrated the spillovers that can result from a common shock.
The spillovers that can result from a common shock.
Monetary policy was generally similar in many countries because the initial health shocks, as well as many supply-side difficulties, were similar. Also, we benefited to some extent from the common monetary framework, such as inflation targeting. And that meant that monetary policy in different economies was predicted to act in a similar manner.
Predicted to act in a certain manner based on a shock to the system.
Having said that, the differential health shock and related steps, fiscal policy differences, and exposure to supply side effects and commodity prices led to somewhat different policies, consequent inflation, and activity outcomes.
So supply chain problems. Russia invaded Ukraine, which caused wheat shortages, right? Everything is supply chain, guys. And what is it? To switch the system to tokenization. That's what the whole Gaza, Israel thing, it's all financial, guys. It's all to move us into a new monetary system, new supply chain management. All these different technologies that they told us were a fraud are all the technologies they're going to use to bring in a brand new monetary system, a one world currency, a bag of currencies. America will no longer be the dominant force in the next 10 years. That's my prediction.
Consequently, there was more heterogeneity in monetary policy exiting COVID than upon its entry. Israel was fortunate in that sense, with relatively small share of tourism sector and a relatively large high-tech sector, which actually benefited from the increased dependency on remote work.
Okay, so he's giving you the hint, guys. So they actually succeeded because of their remote work, because of their technology, because of their innovation, their economy increased. So why do you think so many people are investing in foreign countries? Why do you think Ray Dalio is moving his investments into foreign countries? Why do you think Warren Buffett decreased his position in bank stocks in America, except Bank of America, and started moving into foreign countries?
These circumstances led to a wedge between global monetary policy and the required domestic monetary policy. This slide shows that for these reasons and others, inflation in Israel is in the lowest quartile of rates in the OECD. In particular, headline inflation in Israel was low because its natural gas supply and prices were shielded from global developments. The next slide shows the swift recovery of the Israeli economy from the COVID crisis. The level of GDP exceeded its long-run trend already by the end of 21 and stayed somewhat above this trend by Q3 23. And we'll come back to this recovery ability of the Israeli economy. An additional key attribute in Israel that affects potency and effectiveness of monetary policy is the large share of mortgages that are directly tied to the Bank of Israel. Therefore, raising rates influences the stock of almost all homeowners, not just new ones. This is another cause for possible differences between global and local monetary policy decisions.
Okay, so I just wanted you to hear the shock that it goes into a lot of little boring data, but do you see what's happening, guys? There's a certain economies that are thriving as other economies are collapsing. There is a switch in your monetary system, guys. The industrial era is dead. It's done. Parents, you have to stop teaching your kids, you'll go to school, get a job, get a subsidized loan from the government to go to school, to get a $30,000 a year job, to pay taxes. Well, of course, you have to pay taxes, but pay your taxes so that they can pay down their debt. Guys, we have to start thinking innovatively. We have to start reconnecting back to source. We have to start using our creative state of mind, right? We have to start to expand consciousness. It's the greatest time in human history to switch your career, to become an investor, because guys, I'm here to tell you the industrial era is dying. The old way of doing finances is dying. The old way of communicating and connecting is dying, but it doesn't mean your connection to source, God, Jesus Christ, or whatever you believe in. I believe in God and Jesus Christ should become stronger, because consciousness is, we're all being played. Consciousness is supposed to expand itself. Do not get caught in this trap. Okay. So now let me take you a little bit back in my computer. Just a second. Computer's acting crazy. Oh, we might not be able to do it. There we go. We talk about God and the devil attacks. Let's just wait a second here. This thing's just spinning. All right, I might have to talk to you guys for a second. My computer is stuck. All right, let me just see what it does. So my computer's spinning, so I don't even know if I can turn this video off. We'll see what happens here. So we're still rolling. That thing's spinning. Okay, so I'll just talk to you guys. So basically, it's a video from Rosie Rios that basically said we need a shock to the system to change consumer behaviors. Remember Rosie Rios in 2012, family. In 2012, there we go. We're back. Oh, no, that side is not back. Okay, we'll just keep talking. Yeah, my computer's acting crazy. So in 2012, she was told to reduce coin and cash usage, right? And she couldn't reduce coin and cash usage because of GDP growth. She said you need a shock to the system to change consumer behaviors. Okay. We had a shock to the system in 2020, which changed everything. And you see, Israel's economy is succeeding, guys. China, we found at Evergrande, 30% of their GDP was underwater, basically their real estate. We found out America's policies have completely destroyed our economic structure, guys. This is a switch in your financial system. Okay, so what am I doing? Okay, so I use cryptocurrency as an extremely speculative asset. I have an exit plan, which I use Merlin, which we developed Merlin. I'm the co-founder of Merlin, which is down below as well. Basically to exit the markets as everybody else is coming in. I'm holding 50% of my portfolio long term. I'm not touching 50% legacy wealth. Okay. Then I'm going to be exiting on the way up. It's called a ladder strategy. So, for example, if and when XRP hits $3.70, I'll exit about 5% of my 50%. If it hits $5, I'll exit a certain amount. If it hits $7, right? And if it doesn't hit those targets, I don't exit. When I exit, though, it's extremely important that I'm putting my money into things to secure, compound, and grow. So I use Index Universal Life, tax code 7702. I can turn my money into two different things. I can take my profits, put it into Index Universal Life, and then I can leverage against that, turning $1 into $2. When I leverage against that, I'll buy more cash generating assets, things like real estate, precious metals. And then now I'm in the process right now of setting up what's called the Rockefeller Trust for my family ecosystem. So what I'm here to do is transform my family's timeline. My kids will be wealthy. If I can do it, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it, guys. In 2020, or going 2019 to 2020, I lost everything. So I made it my mission to figure out how money flows to the system. And I realized it's not that difficult, guys. It's not that difficult. The system is not against you. It's actually designed for you to become wealthy. It's that your parents indoctrinated you and did not teach you, nor did the system teach them how the wealthy operate. Once you understand how the wealthy operate, it becomes very, very easy. Oh, did this thing completely stop? Oh, wow, that's crazy. Let's see. Stop sharing. What is going on? can we do here? All right, family. I'm not sure what happened with the video. I'm not sure how much was captured, but I'll basically just wrap it up. So Rosie Rios, and I apologize if this is repeating, so I don't re-record my videos. I just speak from my heart. And here we are, okay? And I got a very busy day today, so I'm gonna get this done. So basically, I'm not sure where it cut off, and I'll just figure that out with my team in just a moment. But basically, guys, there's a shock to the system coming, right? So I use cryptocurrency as a very speculative asset. I have an exit plan. I'm holding 50% long-term. I exit on the way up. When I exit, it's opportunity cost of money. I don't go sit large amounts of money in a bank account because they're going to use my money to index it, put it in the capital markets, and they're going to lend it to you coming in, right? So I take my money and I index it. I put it into insurance and I borrow against my own self with insurance. Okay. Next, I use precious metals as borrowability, silver, and then I'll be getting into gold. We're going into real estate next year. And then I'm also getting today, actually, my second meeting. I'll be setting up what's called the Rockefeller Trust around my family. So if I can do it, you can, family. I just devoted my life to understanding how the system works. Okay. And I've taken you honestly and transparent around where I'm at financially, right? I'm not bullshitting you. I'm telling you exactly where I'm at. I'm going to continue to tell you where I'm at, right? Eventually I'll be a multi-millionaire. And then from there, I plan on becoming a billionaire, and or I'll pass that down to my family, where my ecosystem will continue to perpetuate itself. So my kids' will be billionaires and so on. Because for me, it's about freedom, safety, and protection. So what's important to me? I got back from Peru in 14 days, sitting in a garden in Peru. That's freedom to me. That's what running money represents to me. I'm not running around in fancy cars and big houses. Freedom, freedom of time, freedom of choice, freedom of religion, freedom. Well, I wouldn't say I'm not religious, but I believe in God. Freedom to speak my truth around God and Jesus Christ and my belief system in that without fear of any judgment at all. So I built a whole ecosystem around that. And I love you very, very much. So my intentions are to help as many people as possible, over 1 million in the next year. So I hope this video worked out well for you. And I'll see you tomorrow. Warriors, let's get your shit together. Let's go.